if you clicked onto this video, you're most likely down in the dumps. You've hit the wall, or you're just generally feeling low and you just don't seem to be able to snap out of it. You're probably doing nothing except for staying in bed most mornings and just looking at your phone. Everything is looking bleak and you just don't see the point. Well, what if I told you that you could be happy again and all it would take is 1 month? I know, I get it. So you're probably wondering, this is going to take an entire month? Worry not, there's actually a very good reason for it, which I'll get into in just a moment. Now, this is actually a challenge that I undertook because what I just described was actually me a couple of months ago. You see, after I moved to the US, I was in a pretty low place. I hadn't posted any videos in a while. I'd been struggling with the fact that I've moved away from everything and everyone I knew to be with my wife. The weather is so much hotter here than in the UK. And to make things even more tedious, at the posting of this video, I'm still waiting for the go-ahead to legally work over here. So as you can imagine, there's a lot of waiting around and not knowing what to do with myself as I was alone a lot of the time. To be honest, there wasn't really much reason to be getting up in the morning and it was driving me crazy. Till it all got too much and I said to myself, enough is enough. So one day I just sat down in front of my computer and watched video after video, trying to find what might work that might improve my day-to-day life and get me out of this hole that I found myself in. Over the course of the next month, I started to implement the things that I found that I thought that might improve my life. And I split all these things into segments in which I'd implement these 1 week at a time. This is so I didn't feel overwhelmed in doing everything all at once, because if I did that, I'd just end up where I started and there'd be no point in it. And here's what I learned. First things first, I learned very quickly that you need to be able to use your alarm clock effectively. Here's what I mean. I have my alarm clock, like most of us do these days, on my phone, which is fine and everything, but this is what ends up happening. That's right, you guessed it. I start scrolling through social media, answering my messages, start playing games, and before I know it, hours have passed and I just feel demoted to even just get started with my day. And I just feel, what's even the point? I'd actually done nothing, and the inactivity in of itself has just kept me in a constant state of, well, tired. So to change this is what I did. I actually got up and now I can just get on with my day. Well, at the very least, I can't be bothered to get back into bed at this point. So with this, I immediately went into the bathroom. I looked at myself in the mirror and went through the basics, like brushing my teeth and having a shave. Not only did that actually wake me up, but I thought to myself that the first thing that I'm now seeing is myself, and I'm taking a really long look. I mean, before, the first thing I saw was the various things on my phone. And when I actually stopped and thought about it, I thought, how crazy is that? I'm seeing the whole world, the whole interwebs, everything, before I even see my own face. And I thought there's got to be something in that. What I learned from this is that if you force yourself to get out of bed by doing something as simple as moving the alarm out of reach is an activity within itself. But simply getting up is only half of the battle here. So you may have noticed that earlier on I set my alarm clock for 5 AM, and there's a good couple of reasons for that. I know this might look really creepy, but as you can see, there's no one around at this time of the morning. And that means I can do all of the things that I need to do to start my day before anyone is even awake. So once I've got up, fed the bunny, and got dressed, and I do mean dressed, Sweatpants just doesn't cut it anymore. If you're going to dress yourself, you need to start dressing in normal clothes. Even if it is your day off and you have nowhere to go, it's just better when you can look in the mirror and you just feel good about yourself and you just feel fresher and more able to take on the day. Now, while no one's around, you can check out your social media while you're having breakfast. This way you can catch up on the world without the cost of your self-care and your grooming, and you don't feel so bad now. Because let's face it, you're already up. I also use this opportunity to get outside and get some fresh air, whether that be a chilled walk or even a light jog.
But more on that later.
So by the time I've accomplished all these things, it can be somewhere around 6 or 7 o'clock. And to be honest with you, this is usually the time that I just spend scrolling on my phone just after I woke up. But now I'm actually waking up with a smile on my face because I'm getting out and doing the things that I need to do to, start my day with the mindset and the momentum to be able to do so. Okay, so you don't have to set your alarm for 5 a.m. each morning, but I would suggest doing it, say, an hour or so before you normally would, just to make it worth it. Now, moving on. So, as you can see, I'm not exactly the slimmest person in the world. I'm really not. And lately, it's really starting to get me down as I've tried diet, after gym membership, after intermittent fasting routine. And you know what I realized? I'm looking at this all wrong. You see, I've been trying to lose weight and I've been focusing on that goal so much that it's just got overwhelming in my brain and I got upset when nothing happened. What I actually found was I should have never tried to lose weight in the first place. Wait, what? Here's what I mean. To a point, I'm not going to be able to control the end result too much, and what I started to do is to do my best to make small changes here and there, which will ultimately lead to a healthier lifestyle, and one of those things is exercise. Now, looking the way I do right now, I'm not going to be able to run a marathon anytime soon. But there is a trick that has proven highly motivating. Back in the UK, I was introduced to something called Couch to 5K. All this is an app that you can download on your phone, link in the description. Don't worry, this isn't something that's sponsoring this video. This is actually something that I've used in the past to really positive effect. It's just been a while since I've used it. Anyway, the point of this app is to give you a more manageable workout. It splits your jog into segments where you're walking for a couple of minutes and then jogging for a short burst. So you do this 3 times a week, and after each week, the jogging intervals get longer. And this happens for over a course of, say, about 3 months. And the idea is that you're able to run 5 kilometers without too much difficulty.
I really hope I can do this 5k. Oh, and while I'm here, if you gained value so far, hit that like button.
I only started this a couple of weeks ago, and even now I'm starting to notice a few changes. And a couple of these changes are that I'm not getting so winded every time I have to run up the stairs, and I've got so much more energy throughout the day. And one upside to all of this activity is the fact that I can actually get to sleep a lot quicker overnight, which is actually a good segue, because in order to do all of this, you actually do need a good night's sleep. So other than food and drink, sleep is one of the most important things that we need in order to survive. Without it, we'll literally go insane. It actually took me a very long time to even get to sleep overnight, and this was affected by a few things. It was affected by what I was doing in the last hour or so, it was affected by my environment, and it was even affected by the temperature of the room. And the reason I say that, the thing that matters most isn't the amount of sleep that you're getting, it's the quality of your sleep. It's always good to have an active day to where you're out before you go to bed, but if you don't take steps to actually relax, you won't get the rest that you actually need. You see, sleep is that time where your body literally regenerates. The brain recovers from the day, your muscles heal from all of that activity, and everything gets to reset. And have you even wondered why you're so hot when you get into bed, even though the room is cold? One of the reasons is the fact that you're not getting the sleep that you need. During the day, your body builds up heat from all the metabolic processes needed to function properly and from all the activity. Sleep is the process that your body cools down after all that. The other things that can contribute to a good night's sleep are your environment. Keep your space as dark, as cool, and as quiet as you can. Now, the other thing that contributes to a good night's sleep or the quality of your sleep is your state of mind. So you're not going to be able to shut off properly if you're just checking your social media in bed. So I suggest not doing that in the last hour. Another thing is that if you're anything like me, you have 1,000,001 things running through your brain. As when you actually finally shut down, that's when the rush seems to start. Writing down all of the things on your mind at that moment and making sure that you put that paper out of reach will act as a brain dump. And you put all those things out of sight and out of mind. This will leave your mind free to sleep. Also, having a good nighttime checklist such as showering with relaxing body wash scents such as lavender and brushing your teeth. This will ensure that you can just get into bed and go to sleep comfortable without all the grime and the sweat and everything from throughout the day. And if you want to know more about how to achieve a good night's sleep, especially if you have anxiety or depression or anything like that, I've left a link in the description to my 10-part playlist that has everything that you need to know. So anyway, getting back to this, it actually only took me a couple of days to notice the difference from making these changes with my sleep. For example, it doesn't take me so long to wake up in the morning. I have more energy, and more importantly, I'm less stressed out as I feel I can now handle my day ahead of me. So because this actually didn't take me so long, I actually added something else this week. So one of the things that I found that really gets me down is getting up and finding that I've just got so much to do with no end in sight. Things like getting the dishes sorted, doing the laundry, scripting a video, and getting all the yard work done. And yes, it really is a lot. So here's what I proposed, which really did help me. What I did is make a to-do list, but only put 3 things on it for each day. Get those 3 things done, and here's the important part: stop. You see, the essential part of any day is rest. Yes, you might feel like you can do more, but the point of the 3 tasks is that you're not getting overwhelmed and you're not overdoing it, as what I can guarantee what will happen is that you want to do more the next day. Trust me, get your rest and just do 3 more the next day. And what I'd say is that especially after the first week, that you do feel that you can do more than 3 things, you can add 1 task each week up to the maximum of 5. That way I can almost guarantee you that you would have picked up the momentum that you're looking for, but you're not burning yourself out while you're doing it. And now, so I actually done 2 things again this week, but you'll find that they feed into each other. You'll see what I mean. So this isn't actually as bad as the title implies. Eventually, yes, it would be great to get to the point where you're not thinking about going on social media all the time, but after going for a month after doing what I'm about to suggest, I gotta admit, I feel calmer and I feel much happier for it. You see, the thing about social media is that it eats up a lot of your time because it's very addictive. It's an instant dopamine rush, and it preys on FOMO. FOMO. FOMO means fear of missing out. You see, as humans, we all want to be included in things, and social media gives that to us in droves. It has all number of companies showing you shiny things that you want to buy. It gives you endless updates on all those friends that you've probably never met or are never going to. It's trying to convince you that World War III is right round the corner and that the entire world is going haywire. But you know, the one thing that I've come to realize about it is it's just a big drain, and it's not even worth it unless there's something that directly affects you in a massive way, which, let's be honest, 99% of the time there isn't. It shouldn't be the first thing that you look at in the morning before anything else. All that's happening is that you're losing a ton of time, which, let's be honest, isn't an infinite supply. So what is the answer? So one of the things that I found that has truly helped is to not come off it cold turkey. As with any addiction, and let's not kid ourselves, it is an addiction, down the line you'll just want to go back to the way things were, as it's going to be the only thing that's on your mind. So what I've been doing is limiting myself. This means I only look at my phone either while I'm eating or if there's physically nothing else to do. So if, for example, I'm doing something like yard work and I come in for a break for some water, I set a timer for about 5 to 10 minutes. And when that timer goes off, I stop and I get back to what I was doing. Or if, for example, I'm eating, then I have to the end of that meal. As soon as my plate is empty, I put down the phone and I get on with it all. But let me tell you, I think this is one of the hardest disciplines that I had to master this month. The temptation is always around the corner, but if you can fight through this, then you'll finally be able to start seeing what you've been missing. And if you don't just look up once in a while, you'll miss everything. Speaking of which, so when I say friends, I also mean how you connect with them, and I'm not just talking about things like Facebook and social media. I'm saying pick up the phone, dial that number and call the people who matter to you. Or better yet, go see them.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
Good.
One of the problems with technology these days is that yes, it's great, but it takes the human element out of a lot of things. Yes, it might be easier to text someone or message them on WhatsApp, but there's actually a disconnect there and you start associating everyone with your phone screen. When you physically speak to people, you can experience real emotion with them. You can laugh and cry in such a way that wouldn't happen over a text message or a social media post. I mean, come on, studies have actually shown that hugging someone is great for your mental health and even your physical health, as it puts you into a state of relaxation and calm. Your friends won't be there forever, so call them now. I mean, you can talk things out when you're having a problem, you can laugh with them when you need to have a good time, and you can cry with them at a good movie or if you're upset about something. I'm actually much happier now that I'm able to reach out to people a bit more and actually spend time with them. Humans are naturally a sociable species. Even when we're all getting attacked by dinosaurs, we banded together to make sure that we can survive. So why fight nature? So pick up that phone.
Oh, hello?
Hey, it's Nige.
Oh, it's Nigel. Yeah.
Yeah, I was wondering whether I could come over for a couple of hours. Just need to chat, you know.
Oh yeah, no, sure, you can come over.
And connect. But Salad Cream Boy, you gorgeous stallion of a creature, I hear you ask. Did all of this actually make you happy, and how? Well, hypothetical person that I just made up to prove my point, gather round and allow me to regale you. The short answer is, well, yes, it has made me happier. I mean, okay, my situation hasn't really changed. World War III is still around the corner. Unspeakable things are still happening around the world. And also, I still have my own ongoing problems to think about. But in my general day-to-day life, yes, I'm much happier. And let me tell you why. So waking up early has given me a sense of routine, and I now feel confident that I'm able to maintain certain routines. I now have that peace first thing in the morning without everything hitting me all at once, which quite frankly ruins my mood for the whole day. And I've started to appreciate my surroundings a lot more. And I've even got to see some amazing sunrises and sunsets. I feel fresh and more able to take on the day from the get-go. I'm not stressed because I got out of bed at like midday because I couldn't get off my phone, and because of that I don't feel so rushed to get things done. Daily exercise and a balanced diet has actually resulted in some weight loss. To be fair, not much yet, but it's a start. But now that I'm a bit fitter, I can actually finish my daily tasks with time to spare, and I actually have more time for the things that matter to me. Speaking of tasks, I now find that even though I have the energy to get everything done, I'm not overdoing it to the point that I can't enjoy those things that matter to me. Also, while I'm still making friends in the US, I'm starting to reach out to the ones that I have made, and because of that I don't feel as lonely as I do a month ago. And it's just nice to know that there are people around me close by that I can connect to. And as far as sleep goes, not only am I going to bed with a smile on my face and looking forward to the next day, but I'm finally going to bed the same way that I used to, butt naked like the day I was born. Anyway, this month really has made such a difference. 30 days ago I was mopey, stressed and depressed, where today I found something that I haven't had in a long while. Peace of mind and happiness. Now, if you want to see how my journey went from couch to 5k, you can click on the video just here. Or if it hasn't come out yet, YouTube will have a suggestion on what you might want to watch next. Because at the end of the day, it gets dark.